unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably noticed that Bitcoin has just broken out into a new all-time high today, now sitting at over $111,000. And you're probably thinking to yourself, do I just buy Bitcoin? What types of crypto do I want to buy? Which coins will perform the best in this bull market and which coins won't perform the best? So today we're going to have a look at which coins are still undervalued and which coins in the altcoin market here are likely to perform the best based on what's happened previously in this market. So as of today, we have Bitcoin up here at these price levels, well above its old all-time high. And as you can see here, we have the altcoin market excluding Bitcoin still way down, underperforming. However, this period of the cycle in the later stages is most likely where the altcoins will catch up to their performance in Bitcoin, and you'll see the largest percentage gain. So which altcoins are worth investing in and worth buying? So here we have a list of the top 50 crypto coins. We can see the highs that they set in 2020 and 2021 compared to the highs they've set so far this year. And what you can see here is that out of all these coins here in the top 50, only 7 of them have actually broken through and set new all-time highs. Coins like Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, newer coins like Injective and Fetch AI, Render also setting new all-time highs, and Binance Coin. However, most of the coins in this market have underperformed. So does that mean that none of these coins are worth buying and that we should just stick with the winners? Or is there a potential outperformance here by some of these smaller coins that haven't performed as well yet? So one thing we can gather from previous cycles is that usually the coins that perform the strongest, that are the leaders in this market, are usually the coins that are going to continue to perform the best, as long as macro conditions remain bullish. Now, some of these coins that have come close to breaking their all-time high, but haven't broken their all-time high, may see a large surge of capital rotation and percentage-wise actually outperform later on in the cycle. So let's have a look at the coins that have performed the best percentage-wise from 2020 to 2021 to today. And what we can see here is that older coins like XRP, Bitcoin, Binance Coin, and Solana have outperformed greatly so far and are likely to continue being leaders in this market. However, coins like ICP, Filecoin, Axie Infinity, Sandbox are still down between 90 and 80% from the all-time high they set in 2020 and 2021. So coins on the higher end of this list here have seen the least amount of capital rotate into them so far in this market. However, coins here that have been close to breaking their all-time high, like Ethereum, XLM, Aave, Link, HBAR, even ADA, are still likely to make a recovery later on in this market, especially if we see a rotational top happen when money starts to flow out of Bitcoin and into some of these smaller coins here, which is what ignites the start of what's referred to as an alt season. So based on these coins and the performance they've had so far, how would you likely allocate a portfolio? So for 2025, this is how I've allocated my portfolio so far, having it broken down into 4 sections. Now for each of these sections, I only have a few coins, and I think you only need a few coins as it is hard to keep track of everything that's going on in this market so far. So far for me, the proven leaders that I've invested in are XRP and Solana. Both have broken through their all-time highs. Both have a strong narrative, a strong community, and I see the highest percentage return on those 2 coins. As far as the value rotation coins, are coins that I think still have a potential. They've been around forever and they've done well. They make up a lot of the mid section of this chart, and I still believe in these coins. However, they just haven't performed as well as some of the leaders. So my value rotation coins are coins like Ethereum, Sui, Binance Coin, HBAR, and ADA. Now, the narrative runner section is simply just meme coins. Now, I'm not going to discuss any meme coins in this video, as I think it's pure speculation and somewhat gambling, but everyone has their meme coins that they like, that they think are funny, and I do allocate a small percentage of my portfolio to those coins. And so far, for high risk and high reward rebound coins, I haven't found any that I like so far. However, going into this next stage of the market, now that Bitcoin has broken out from its all-time high, I will be looking to pick up a few coins in this high risk section. But as of today, I have no coins that I consider high risk in my portfolio. Just my proven leaders, the value rotation coins that I think money will flow into in the later stage of these cycles, and a few meme coins which can do high percentage returns, but at the end of the day is straight gambling and pure speculation. Now, you've also probably noticed that I don't have Bitcoin on this list, and the reason for that is because my highest possible Bitcoin price targets for this cycle are between 150 and 200,000 US dollars. Now, if Bitcoin was to reach 200,000 US dollars, that would be less than a 100% percentage gain. And if any of the coins on this list from current prices do less than 100% percentage gain, I would be highly disappointed in their performance. So because the max return that I believe you'd be able to get investing in Bitcoin at these current price levels is less than 100%, it doesn't make my list as far as coins that I currently hold at the moment. On top of that, these final late stages of the market is where you see that rotation generally into the altcoins, and you start to see that outperformance. As so far you can see in this market, Bitcoin has led this move up, breaking into new all-time highs here, while 20% of the coins in this market currently sit in this zone right now in comparison to Bitcoin, while the majority of this market still hasn't broken out from those 2021 all-time highs and is still sitting down here in comparison to Bitcoin. So that's why I don't currently hold Bitcoin on this list, and it is made up of altcoins, even though Bitcoin is one of the proven coins that has performed the best so far this cycle. So now that we have Bitcoin broken out into a new all-time high, I do think it's likely that once things get heated and exciting here, and we see capital start to flow into these altcoins, which we still haven't seen yet, the altcoin market here, excluding Bitcoin, is still very undervalued and hasn't moved anywhere near as much. In comparison, Bitcoin's price, like discussed earlier in the video, is up in these ranges already and even higher. And we haven't seen that value rotation into the altcoin market yet. On top of that, if you have a look at Google Trends for things like Bitcoin and XRP, you can have a look here that over the last 10 years, when we've seen these spikes in Google Trends, is usually the peak of the market. And right now, this is still declining for Bitcoin and XRP. So there is no retail crowd here yet, which is a great indicator that things really haven't got exciting yet, and that most people buying into this altcoin market are still early. On top of that, you can have a look at some of the biggest crypto YouTubers here with over 2.6 million subscribers, and you can see that in the last week, the average viewers on these videos that these pages are getting are between 30 and 60,000, with the odd video getting over 100,000 views. But if you have a look back to 5 months ago, when you seen Bitcoin break its old $69,000 all-time high, and you've seen coins like XRP start to move, you can see that these pages here on a poor video got over 80,000 views, and better videos getting in the high hundreds of thousands and 200s of thousands. So it's quite clear that the retail crowd and the euphoria is far from entering this market yet. And even with Bitcoin setting a new all-time high today, the excitement really hasn't reached this market yet, and that's represented in the altcoin market, which is still down a long way from those December highs and still down from that all-time high set back in 2021. So I think this is a perfect time to start allocating coins for your portfolio for the next stage of this bull market that is to come. And if you look back from 2021 and 2017, the coins that did perform the best were the proven leaders that were already performing the best, and the coins that made the actual biggest percentage returns but were harder to predict were those value rotation coins that we spoke about, like Ethereum, SUI, HBAR, and ADA, which had underperformed up to this mark. However, in the later stages of the bull market, seen a lot of that capital from Bitcoin especially flow into these smaller coins. And the coins I would be staying away from are the coins that have had no capital rotate into them so far and have completely underperformed, that are on the top side of this chart here of the top 50 coins. Now, one thing worth mentioning in this value rotation era, you can also include new coins that you don't have data on from 2020 and 2021 that you may believe will perform well in this last stage of the market. If you want a copy of this chart below, leave a comment on the video and I can share that. However, please do your own research before investing in any coin, and only use this as a reference. As in 2021, when I did a similar portfolio allocation breakdown, I used similar metrics, taking the all-time highs and which coins had broken it, but from 2017. And if you have a look and do the same comparison yourself, you'll see that the coins that performed best earliest in the 2020 bull market and 2021 bull market were some of the coins that had already broken their all-time highs from 2017. So applying the same thought process to this cycle and having looking at the coins that are already outperforming and doing the best is how I will be allocating my portfolio. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And if you have any questions, comment down below. So until next time, try not to get caught up in the excitement that's happening right now, as generally every time Bitcoin breaks through an all-time high, there is a period of correction and consolidation, which we'll go over in tomorrow's video. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.